that house? Reggie Manuel's on Spintex one. That's what this felt like. It was very much like that. Like you can't just enter the place. This is nice too, huh? Okay, I like the wood.
Yeah, the little frames.
Yeah.
The house number on there. It makes me want to.
Hello, Amazon.
Amazon delivery.
Hey guys.
Yeah,
back again. We split this video into two because otherwise it was going to get very long. Like, I'm just so in awe of looking at these houses. I just really love to see different types of houses. You know, I think that's one thing about being in Ghana. You get bored of the same houses and it's very difficult. Like, you want to use your all because real estate really is my passion, and I want to see like different styles of houses, but it's so hard to see in Ghana, whereas here it's so easy. Like, there's different things, like, do you know what I mean? You can find something to your, different concepts, you know. And I really like that here. Like, there's variety, there's choice, whereas in Ghana I feel like, boy, man, it's very, very difficult to see.
You can't even see some people's houses because the wall is blocking them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even see anything, right? And so this is just so nice. I think because we don't have the high fence walls and stuff like that, you're able to see the beauty of an area. Like, I sometimes wonder why in Ghana we can't just let go of, I mean, yes, there are robbers and, you know, things can happen. But I'm like, if you're a community like this, I don't think that could happen here. Because I feel like everybody knows their neighbor.
Yeah. But, you know, sometimes a lot of things don't just happen. Like, come on, look at the
caliber.
Ghana. Just Ghana in itself, like the things that Ghana is going through. It's going to take a little while before we get there.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, because you can go into a place and you see an uncompleted house next to a completed house, next to a mansion, next to a kiosk.
That's true.
Next to a container. And somebody's living in all of these things. And it's like, you know, you can't, it's like, Ghana is a lawful but lawless country at the same time. You know, with the right amount of money, you can get away with stuff. And sometimes some people own stuff they don't want to let go. It's so much.
It's true. It's so very, very messy, isn't it? The whole real estate business in Ghana is very messy.
It is. It's like the best. I feel like the best thing is for somebody to go and purchase like 100 acres subdivided and build this if they want.
Yeah, like a community like this. Yeah. I feel like there are very small pockets in some places that can be like this. So back in the day, I remember, what's that house? Reggie Manuel's on Spintex one. That's what this felt like. It was very much like that. Like, you can't just enter the place. And so you went in and it's very much open. It's open like this,
these
right?
Concepts,
But when I went there, Reggie Manuel at the time, the trees weren't grown. I don't know what it looks like now. I haven't been for a long time.
The last time I went, it still looked nice.
It still looked nice.
People were like, I think I went there like pulled up around like 7 a.m. People were jogging around. Yeah. It was nice. I was like, oh, word. So now I see what the hype is about Reggie.
Right, yeah. That's the first one that they did. It was really nice. They have another project around, would I say Adenta? I can't remember. Adenta, Ashie, somewhere like that. And that one, I didn't like that project at all. I'm sorry to say. No, I didn't like it. It looked more council, if that makes sense.
You know, speaking of that concept, you know, I've seen my grandma, one of my grandmas, what she did was she purchased, I don't know the exact acreage, right? But it was like she purchased a big lot. Yeah. And what she did was she subdivided the lot amongst her kids. So now when you go there, you see like that whole street is named after her. Right. Dela and going towards Oyarifa. So when you go to that area, you can see like, oh, beautiful home, beautiful home, beautiful home. But because all of her kids, my aunts and my uncles, they are their mindset is they've traveled, they've seen this, so they brought that like aesthetic, right? You know, and even with their walls and everything, you can just still see that this is a beautiful community. It's a nice home, like, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty dope.
It is. It's very, very nice here. Do you know, I would actually really like to get into real estate here. Because this is like, I'm excited again. Honestly, like doing real estate in Ghana, I kind of got a bit bored of it sometimes because I just feel like I'm looking at the same house over and over again. Whereas here, I've just like the choice. Like, I'm excited. It has reignited that fire in me where I'm like, ooh, you know, I'd really like to property invest here.
Yeah. There's several concepts that you can definitely do when it comes to real estate here. You know, because you're not a citizen.
Yeah.
You ideally can't purchase a home. I mean, you still can.
Yeah.
But there are other like different programs you can probably do it like a foreign investor. You know, the processes that, you know, we can help you with, which is like, you know, you have to acquire basically the equivalent of a social security, so that the government can recognize you as an entity that's purchasing this property, right?
Right.
And then again, of course, because you're not going to be a resident here, you know, again, there are different programs, but ultimately purchasing a property here is very beneficial for a person living overseas or somewhere like in Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Where, you know, your return on investment coming from here goes a long way to basically where your domicile is.
Right, exactly.
So ideally, think of it like this: you're making dollars while you're spending cedis.
Yes.
Right.
That sounds good.
As we know, like, and you're already in that market when it comes to Airbnb, short-term rental, long-term rental, that even rentals like Section 8. And when people hear Section 8 rentals,
we have that in the UK too.
You know, you think it's like, oh, only people who are coming to mess up your property and this, that, and the third. No, there are some people who know and understand the system, and they're making money, but they just don't meet the threshold where they need to meet to be able to. Why are you coming fast? You don't see that your license. Why are you coming fast? Why are you coming fast? You know, that they don't, what do you call it? They don't meet the threshold that puts them over. So they still qualify for something like Section 8. Right. And the government helps them pay or gives them the stipend to pay. You know, and they're law-abiding citizens. You know, you can vet them out, all of that good stuff. They have a good, clean record. And they just need a place to stay. And you are literally, you just have the home, you're renting it out to the government. And the government is giving it to these people. Every day your check is coming in. That is like the most secure way.
Yeah, that is really what I would like to do. Actually, I would like to property flip. I've always wanted to anyway. So I think I mentioned it briefly in the other building video that we did.
We should have went through that name. That's a nice one.
Yeah, I would really like to property flip, and I think, you know, the way we were talking about liens, I would like
tax liens,
because obviously I don't have a bulk of cash right now to say I'm going to buy a house. So actually, my idea.
So another thing, I'm glad you said that. You know, that, you know, buying homes in Ghana versus here is different things. You know, here a lot of things work off the credit system. It's a good and a bad thing. So ideally, there are programs, right? Then, you know, for those who live here, there's a program like known as like a FHA, right? So
what's the FHA stand for?
I can't recall. Let me just do this illegal term.
Caught on camera.
I can't recall what it is. It's federal. I think it's FHA is something by the Federal Housing Authority, I think. Don't quote me on this. I think that's what it is, right? So it's a loan offered by the Federal Housing Authority. So when you're utilizing their loan, their programs, right? You are not required to pay in full. You're not. So if the house is $800K, you're not paying $800K in full, right? They'll run your credit and all of that good stuff. And so long as you meet the bare minimum of, I think, $650, right? So long as you're you know, so it's not like $650 is not that great, but it's not that horrible, right? So long as you have that qualification, all you have to do is put a minimum of 3.5% down. Right. So of the total price. Okay. So that is the money.
3.5% down.
Yes. So if your home is $100K, 3.5 is what, 35?
No, that's that's 35. That's 35%. Yeah, 3,500. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
You know, of course, like, you know, the person, some people tell you, you know, rule of thumb, just multiply that by 2 because of closing costs and everything, right? So that's a total of like 7K, right? Give or take that you are putting, investing into a property to own. Now, the only difference is now that you have monthly payments. Right. With those monthly payments come interest and so on and so forth. And guess what? These things, if you have the bulk of cash, absolutely, you can pay it all off, right? And then that's less interest you also have to worry about. But if you don't, it's something that, you know, let's say you're somebody who does have their life together, you got a monthly stipend, you know how much is coming in, your what do you call it? Your monthly expenditure. You know, all your DTIs, all these things are like sorted out, so you know your numbers.
Yeah.
So you're able to afford this monthly payments. These are all the math that you got to do before you go into purchasing a home.
Right.
So you're able to afford these monthly payments, right? But yeah, that's a program. Sorry, that's one of the programs. I don't want to go off into tangents. So as you can see, these are some of the other larger homes.
Yeah, these are very, very nice.
Nice communities.
Very, very nice. I like this. Do you know, I really like it when I see black people here in these neighborhoods, because it's like, yes, like, give us a chance too. Do you know what I mean? I know there are wealthy black people,
give us a chance, make a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're out here grinding. They're not looking for a handout. People are coming. People are actually coming together and making this work. You know, people are coming. Families are coming together, sticking together.
I feel like that's what I'm talking about. So you see, my idea is to really get into the liens, like I was saying, but maybe get a collective of like maybe 5 of us to put together.
All you need is 5 or 10 people.
Yeah, to put together something to start with and get our first lien and keep building it up there. I think it's totally possible. Do you know what I mean? Because there's power in numbers, right? You only need a few, 5 of us or something.
5 people with 2.5 to 3K each will make a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know, you can easily start with 1 to 2 properties and flip that. Yeah. Easy.
That's honestly, that's what I'm thinking right now, because I really actually want to get into it, but not necessarily. I don't really want to do the sales of it, if that makes sense. I feel like.
Well, I think to start off with, to build a capital, because there are different ways to go about it, right? I have a friend. And with one of my properties, the idea he basically pitched, he owns a construction. Him and his wife, they really do this real estate stuff. So they own, I think the last I remember, they own like 58 doors, right? And this is rental property. This is even the ones that they own. This is not even the ones they've worked on, fixed and flipped, right?
Right.
So basically what he likes to do is that he will, like, let's say we acquired a property. He will come and assess the property and say that, okay, this is going to require 150K worth of fixes, right? What he would do is, for 50% ownership of this, I'll go a little bit deeper, because in the first time when he told me, I was like, well, now something I paid for, you want 50? Hold on, let's talk about this, right? But what he does is he comes in, completely covers the cost to fix it, everything, right? And once it's fixed up, now the property that you just had, that was probably maybe worth, you after the liens and everything, you paid maybe like 10K for it. You know, so but it's maybe only worth like 20K. Now after all the fixes and everything he's done to it, he takes it to the bank and gets it appraised. Right? And so the appraisal process consists of taking this home and looking at comparables in the area and seeing that, okay, how many rooms does it have now? How many bathrooms does it have now? What are the improvements? And how modernized is it? And now, the last home that was in this same category sold for 500K. So the home that you just had, that was at best worth 30K, can now be valued at 500K. And the bank is willing to give you basically a mortgage of 500K. So now what happens is, now you have this 500K, he wants his half because he's done all the work, right? So it's not a lose-lose, it's a win-win so long as you have a plan. So for let's say if you have a plan to live in it, cool, you have a modern home, whatever the case. If you have a plan to rent it out, you're going to be getting your money back anyways. He just takes he's done his part, and he keeps moving.
That's still a nice investment.
Yeah, it's still a nice investment. So it's still a good investment.
It is. I think someone like that, you utilize them for the first few times until you get on your feet a bit more financially.
That's what I'm saying. And he's fine. He's absolutely fine with that. Like, I remember I told him, I was like, listen, I'll keep it 100 with you. This is a process that I want to be a part of every step of the way, because I want to learn this. I'm not gonna keep coming to you. It's like I don't mind putting money in your pockets when it's necessary. But I gotta learn this thing too. So absolutely, like, I'll hold your hand through it, whatever the case is. Like, I love the community of people that I keep, because a lot of them are not about gatekeeping. Like,
that's,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
the kind of people that you need around.
It's like you get to a point, you get to a certain place that you realize that, like, you don't even, there's no need to gatekeep.
Yeah.
Because some people don't want to do the work. And it's not necessarily that they're lazy or whatever.
Yeah, they're doing
we
other
all
things.
have our passions.
Yeah.
We all have our own paths that we want to go. So it's like it's best to be giving things of value to people so that people know where they could come to if they're looking for that type of value. So these are different concepts too. These is, as you can tell, I'm trying to remember if these
are very
have been
much,
converted to apartments. But these are like townhomes. And as you can see, they're conjoined.
There's a lot of wood around.
Yeah. Those are sidings. But it's like
what do you call them?
Sidings.
Sidings.
Yeah, those are the sidings. You see? So it's like the low panels that they put on the sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just different, wider sidings. So as you can tell, this, I think each individual, I don't know if these are 2-car garages or if each individual one is an apartment.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
This is kind of like, this concept is like an apartment complex. Again, somebody just got this.
This isn't very much to my taste, but I think it'll be like a nice starter place.
So, yeah, so places like this are a good starter home for some people.
Yeah.
You know, but clearly there's still some work they need to do.
Here.
Oh yeah, that's a completely different community.
It's nice, man. I could live in there.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to buy me that house, you can.
Yes. Ask them because don't ask me.
Oh man.
But yeah, those processes, I think, for the fund that I would like to build and bring the community of people together. Again, you know, we start small, play it safe till we really all understand the inner workings of like how this is, you know.
Yeah, you just need like-minded people that are gonna, you know. The problems arise when one person thinks that they want to control the whole thing, whereas it's actually a collective.
It's a collective.
You have to be
and
on the same page.
Sometimes it's not even that one person wants. It's just, I think all these things is about a lack of trust. Because let's be realistic. One thing about human beings is human nature dictates that sometimes when you find yourself in a bind, you know what I'm saying? It's like it becomes you go into survival mode, and I think that's where the distrust at least for me comes from. It's like, yo, you never know how somebody acts when they're distressed. Yeah. You know, everybody got something going on in their life, and you know we can be in the middle of all of this, and then I don't know, something really dire starts happening in your life, and now you want to come and pull your money out or something like that, and it's like, dang, like hold on, you know. This too shall pass. Like, at least let your investments do what it needs to do. Or let's just say that, let's even flip it and say you are the person in charge of this. How do we know that you're going through something in your life? You're not going to take our money that's supposed to be invested in this.
It's the trust.
You know what I'm saying? So it's trust. And I think that's getting the community together is one thing, but establishing that trust within that community of people matters. Yeah. Because, Charlie, we're talking about money. People's hard-earned money. Nothing comes for free. Nothing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody out here is
I think
grinding.
as long as you understand that it is an investment, and then you have to go through the process.
Like, you got to put everything. Nobody.
But there is no risk in a lien. That's the thing.
Yeah,
there's
I mean, absolutely.
There's
So,
no risk in something
again,
like that.
Like Glenn said, right? The only risk is if your freaking home.
Yeah, if it falls in, right?
That's an act of nature, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, I won't say there's no risk. There is risk, but the likeliness of that risk actually coming to pass is slim to none. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the reality of purchasing tax lien sales.
I think that's really that's how I'm gonna. That's the step. That's the step I'm gonna take. I think. We start from there, because really you need to get off the ground, and it's so good to be able to, as you said already, you know, be able to make an income here and you spend it in Ghana, where your money goes much further, you know. Absolutely. And this is the easiest way to get onto the property market here. Do you know what I mean? You only need a few thousand and just have someone you trust here to carry the process for you. You know. So yeah, I really like to. So this is it. This is so nice.
Different concepts of townhomes too. These are all townhomes. Yeah, I just don't like HOA. So you see, as you can see, this is somebody's whole house, and then they got their garage. You know.
Yeah, these are probably a little bit too close for me. Like a lot of UK houses are like this. They're terraced. Do you call them terraced houses as well?
I've heard some terrace, but I wouldn't. When I've seen people speak of terraced houses, they're not necessarily, but it's damn near like they're just the same. These are what do you call them? These are townhomes.
Yeah, they're townhomes, but they're attached. What do we call them? All my terminologies are gone. like we have semi-detached houses. So semi-detached is like you're just joined to one other house, right? And then you have the completely detached ones, and then you have these ones which are terrace, which they're just a long line of houses that are all together.
Here they call them, like in Baltimore, for example. That's the well-known structure, and those are like row homes.
Oh, you call them row homes?
Row homes, yeah. It's like a whole row of conjoined homes.
Yeah, I don't like that, especially when you have kids. I just feel like because kids make noise, and before you know it, like you just don't want any noise from it. I don't know if it's because I've been in Ghana for so long. I've got used to it. Doesn't matter because your neighbors are far away. Like let the kids make noise.
But even in Ghana, like that's another beauty. It's like, you know, with the bricks and everything, it's significantly harder to hear.
Yeah,
what's even happening? If your stuff is conjoined, if you're living in like condo type style. Whereas here, everything is just plywood.
Yeah.
So every walking, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Your neighbor could be waking up. I remember when I used to live in apartments. Yo, I swear it felt like my neighbor was always playing Owari or like marbles.
Really?
Something like, you know, have you ever heard marbles fall on a glass table?
Yeah.
Like I feel like every night this person was just there, cling, 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 cling. I'm like, what are you doing at this time? I'm looking at the time. I'm like, yo, is this like witch's hour? Because it's like almost 3 a.m. and you're doing like I'm hearing cling, cling, cling. But that was so irritating because again, wood.
The noise
everything is wooded out.
That's a nice little lake there they have.
Yeah, man-made lake. You know, you can put tilapia, catfish in here. Let it do its thing. Even look at this one.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize it's on this side too.
Yeah. That's pretty. Aesthetics, man. Aesthetics matter.
It really does make a difference, doesn't it?
I wonder if these say no. I want everything to be house. What does lake going to bring me?
We can put the concrete and sell more houses.
Sell more houses. What is lake going to bring me? But they don't understand that this is probably what is going to help with the flooding. This is what is going to. It's like you know what I'm saying. It's not just aesthetically pleasing, but it also serves a functional purpose. Yeah.
So they have a man-made lake at what was that property in East Legon? I did a video there before. I want to say it's called the Residence, but it's not. It's called Riviera. That's it, Riviera. So they have this little lake at the back, which is kind of man-made, and it's really nice. Even though they're all apartments, but it's just the fact that you can look over onto the lake. It's just so different because we don't typically do that, you know. I think that's why people are attracted to those apartments too. You know, just the view. View makes a difference when it comes to real estate, you know.
Seriously.
Anyway. We're gonna go do some stuff now. I'm gonna end the video there, guys, and let me know what you think. What do you think about my new idea? I'd really like to hear your opinions. Let's talk, and we'll go from there. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment and share this video, and until next time, we are out. Gang gang.